Gonna try, gonna try, gonna try. Work till I die, till I die, till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, cause I'm not giving up on my dream.
Hi my lovely Frosty fam, it's me, Karen Frost, here at Nail Decadence, back with another video for you. In this video I'm going to be using some Ink London products. As you can see, I'm showing you which ones. I'm also going to be using some gel polishes from Premier Gel. Had these for a while and I thought, you know what, why not give them a go? Haven't used them in a bit. So those two I'm going to use. It's just a matte top coat and the unicorn, which is like a iridescent colour. It's not really a colour, it's just an iridescent glittery sparkly thing. Anyway, and as usual, I've got my bits to adhere my crystals with. So I've got my SBD London Diamond Gel and also the Tony Lee Jewellery Gel and some glitter. Got this one from All That Sparkles, it's called Kaylee. So yeah, few bits and bobs, and as you can see I've got the nails on the fingers as I'm showing you all of these bits and bobs. And look at the butterflies, oh they're so cute. Oh my gosh, this was when I first got these little pieces and this was the first set. So I'm not sure which video I'm putting up first, so you may have seen some of these little butterflies before, but if not, it'll be coming up. So I can't remember what order I'm putting these videos up in, but anyway. So on with the set. I have filed down, clipped off the free edge and filed down to my thin clear base on my nails, and then I have applied my tips. Obviously I've done more nail prep, so removed any lifted product, I've removed any dead, pushed back the cuticles, removed any dead cuticle from the nail plate. I have prepped the regrowth area, removing the natural shine, applied my tips, and now I've dehydrated as well, and now I'm applying my primer to the regrowth area. No need to apply it on the rest of the nail because I do still have some of the clear on the rest of the nail, so no need to put primer there. And now it's time for me to put another thin clear base on top of what was already there, and also obviously the new regrowth area. For my new subscribers, I don't soak off. I just don't. It's pointless to me. There is absolutely no reason for you to remove the thin clear base off your natural nail unless it has lifted or has discoloured in some way. But even if it's discoloured, you'll be covering it over with coloured acrylic anyway, so it's really not a big deal, or gel polish, whatever. Thin clear base gives you something to file back to. It, rather than using a pink, something that's opaque, you can see through the clear. So if there are any greenies or any nasties underneath it, you'll be able to see it through the thin clear base. And as long as there is no problems underneath that nail, underneath that acrylic, there's no reason for you to remove that off the nail. You can leave it on, it's quite safe. And nails don't breathe, they don't have lungs. That's a myth, you know, they don't breathe, they don't need to breathe, it's not necessary. It's a protection for your natural nail so that you're not re-prepping your natural nail every 2 weeks or so. You've got that thin clear base, so you're not thinning your natural nail plate over and over and over, you know. Anyway, that rant over. That's the I went off on a tangent, do apologise, but yeah, some people don't understand why we do the things we do. So yeah, just for those who are unaware, now you know. So thin clear base has been reapplied, and now I'm going to use the Cover Pink on my, oh, what finger was it? I've forgotten what finger it was. Anyway, I don't like seeing the natural nail bed underneath, so when I'm doing a clear area I will use the Cover Pink to sort of mask where my natural free edge is, kind of thing. And I just think it looks nicer with the nail bed being a cover pink. Yeah, it's personal preference, you know. There are rare occasions when I don't put a cover pink over, but not very often, because I just prefer not to see the natural nail underneath. That's all. It really is as simple as that. It's nothing major. If you don't mind seeing the natural nail underneath, then you don't have to mask it. So that middle finger, I literally just ombreed it into nothing, just past my natural free edge, so that the rest of the tip could remain clear, but my natural free edge is then masked by the cover pink. And then on the little finger, as you can see, I'm doing somewhat of a swooshy colour block. I don't know what to call this shape, because it's not a shape that has a name. Yeah, I don't know what shape this is. I just made it up on the fly, so yeah, this is what I'm doing. So I'm building up a wall. I'm not even going to bother filing this in. This is me being lazy, okay? I'm doing a curvy, weird shape that I don't have to file in. So I'm just going to make sure it's a nice, neat wall for me to butt the colour up against. Well, when I go in with the colour, of course. I'm not filing and refining any of these shapes, so I'm going to do the same on the thumb, but kind of the opposite direction, if that makes sense. So where it was going towards the outside on the little finger, I'm also going to put it towards the outside on the thumb, so they're kind of opposite, you know. Same sort of weird shape. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's a swoosh, swirl, wave, something. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I made it up on the fly. I was flying by the seat of my pants. And this is what happens when I just don't plan and just have a play. So yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore, because this is such a weird shape. What can I say? Not a lot, apart from make sure you build that wall up fairly high, not too high, because I am going to encapsulate, but you know, high enough so you can butt a decent amount of colour up against it, so that you've got a good opaqueness in the next colour and a good opaqueness in the cover pink, you know. So not too high, but high enough so that you've got good colour payoff. That's what I mean. So I would literally just use my brush alone to get that as neat as possible, so that the edge is a nice wall for this colour. I think this colour was called Garbo, wasn't it? Anyway, it's a beautiful bluey teal green colour. It's stunning. It actually looks slightly more green in real life. The camera, for some reason, the certain colours the camera just doesn't pick up accurately, and there's nothing I can do about it. So bear in mind, this colour is slightly more on the green side than the blue side, but yeah, it's still beautiful either way. Even if it was this blue, it's still a gorgeous colour, but it is more green. But anyway, so on that index finger, as you can see, I've placed that blue on the tip and faded it in a diagonal back towards the cuticle area. Then I'll leave that to set up, and then I'll go back to the little finger because that's had a chance to set up, and then I'll use that Garbo teal green colour, butt it up right against that wall that I built, and again just sort of in a swirl following the line that I've already built up. I'm not doing it too thick because in my head I was thinking, I'll leave a bit of it clear, because like I said, I was playing it along as I go, so I was planning as I went along. So I thought, if I do a thin line of this, and then I can leave the rest of it clear and put some butterflies in it, and that's what I did. So yeah, just doing a thin sort of area along the top, and in a thicker area by the nail bed, sort of trying to mask the nail bed as much as possible, because like I said, I don't like to see it, so I'm trying to hide it as much as possible. I don't want too much of it exposed, and what is exposed I will sort of mask with glitter as well, because I don't want to see it. I don't like it. I just think it looks if you can still see your natural nail underneath. I don't know, I've got issues. It's probably part of my OCD, just can't handle certain things. So yeah, I'm just gonna use that teal, following the pattern just the same as I did on the little finger, and I'm being as neat as possible with my brush. I'm not getting it all over the cover pink, because like I said, I'm not looking to file this in. I'm not looking on at this point. On this day, I was like, no, I'm not giving myself extra filing to do on this set. I'm going to sculpt with my brush as much as possible and avoid the filing as much as possible. So if you want neater lines that are more crisp, you can file these areas in and it would be a much sharper line, but I'm winging it with my brush. And you know what? Yeah, they came out okay. I didn't think the lines were that bad, so yeah. If you don't feel like doing a load of filing, just be really careful with your application. Use your brush. It's your best friend. This brush is somewhat firmer than the SBD London brushes that I use, so that's why I chose this brush, because I can be a bit more forceful with the acrylic. Anyway, on to that ombre that I had started with the teal green. So now I will add the cover pink over it. So I'm bringing the cover pink down over it to make an ombre, but not in a straight line. I'm sort of doing it in a diagonal slant down the nail. I find that if you're doing diagonals, it really does flatter the nail shape. It kind of, rather than horizontal lines, I think when you do it in a diagonal, it just really makes the nail look slimmer. It's that whole horizontal line shape. It's like they say, if you're a bit heavier like I am, don't wear horizontal stripes because it will make you look even wider. It's the same principle on nails. If you're doing it on a diagonal slant, it just it's more aesthetically pleasing to the eye, as it were. I hope you understand what I mean, but if you're skinny mini, you won't, because you don't have that issue. But I have a few extra pounds, so yeah. Well, pounds in American, but in English, yeah, I got a couple of stone that I could deal with getting rid of, but we won't talk about that. Lockdown's hard. We eat our feelings, and that is that. Oh, good lord. Anywho, on with the ombre. So as you can see, this ombre is not an easy one. The teal is a very opaque, very dark colour, so trying to get the ombre to look good took a bit of work, but it can be done. And as you saw, once I'd finished faffing, it didn't look too bad. So on this finger, on the ring finger, I'm using that teal green up on the free edge, as you can see. I'm not building any strength with this. I will be capping these nails, so I am sort of painting the colour on, because I'm just looking for opaqueness and coverage. I'm not looking for any strength at this point. It's all about the colour payoff at this point, not thinking about structure. However, you do need to still swipe your sides a little bit so you don't lose your shape. You know, it's very easy to lose your shape, so just pay attention to your sides. Swipe your brush down your sides. So in with the cuticle bead, and I'm trying to be careful because obviously with dark colours you get that on the skin. It can get right in the little crevices on your side walls and underneath your cuticle area, or your epinicium or proximal nail fold, and then it's a bugger to get out. But try not to get acrylic on your skin in general. It's just, in general, number one rule, don't get it on your skin, because it's not made for skin, it's made for nails. It's a chemical irritant. But anyway, if you get it any around touching the skin, just use your brush, wipe it on your paper towel a few times, and just use the very, very tip of your brush to just edge it away from the skin back onto the nail. I'm using tiny, teeny weeny beads of clear acrylic, dipping it into my raw glitter and then applying that to the nail, because that will hold it in place. I'd never pre-mix my glitters, I always do it that way. Sorry, I'm going a bit out of frame here, but I am just being a little bit selective with my glitter pieces, because I'm trying to make sure I'm masking the natural nail underneath. Nope, hide it. And then I'm applying some of these butterflies. They're just made of paper, like they're slightly thicker than paper, but well, it's just a thick paper. It's not card or anything, it's just thick paper. So they're very, very thin, and you can bend them quite easily. So if you just give them a little pinch between your fingers, you can sort of bend them so that they curve to fit a nail, because obviously nails are curved, they're not flat. So give them a little bend and then hold them in place excuse me, like you can see I was doing, and then they will sit nice and flush on the nail and you won't end up filing them off. Same on the thumb, tiny bead of clear acrylic, add my glitter where I want it, mask that natural nail, hide it, make it disappear. And then once I'm happy with that, I will again use a little bit of clear acrylic to attach some of those butterflies. Still adding more glitter. It's a pretty glitter mix, this actually. It's very iridescent and pretty. It's got some quite big dots in it as well. Oh, lovely little mix. So here we go. Butterfly. I forgot to bend it. So took it back off, gave it a little bend, and then push it onto the nail. Bend that one. Push that one onto the... because the acrylic's still a little bit wet, so they'll just stick into it. Oh, no, that one hadn't stuck, so a bit more clear acrylic. And then, there we go. Stick number 3 on. There you go. So I'll leave those to set in place before I cap it. Sorry, I'm out of shot a bit there. I'm just adding some of the glitter. Again, just using tiny beads of clear acrylic to attach that glitter. It's just a glitter nail. Why not? It's a really pretty mix, and I started off doing a fade, and then I thought, you know what? Let's just go for it. Do a full nail, Karen. Do a full nail. So that's what I did. I don't know how I kept ending up over the other side of the screen. I'm really sorry. It's really awkward when you're filming your own hands trying to do your own nails. It's much easier when you're doing someone else's, or if I'm working on Handolly to stay in frame. When I'm doing my own, my hands are everywhere because I'm looking at all different angles, and yeah, it's just awkward. So I do apologise for going out of frame, but it is what it is. You can see most of what's going on though. So sticking on some of those butterflies there, and now I will cap. So as you saw, I just swiped just a touch of monomer over that nail first of all, because it helps bring the acrylic it helps the acrylic to slide over the nail and set in place nicely without any frosting or what's it called, and you get little white bits of dry powder. Oh, I can't think. The words have gone. Anyway, those little frosted white patches you can get sometimes when you're applying your clear. If you just swipe over with your brush using a little bit of monomer, it will help prevent that from happening. I just folded over my paper towel because I was picking up bits of glitter back into my brush, which was annoying me. So I folded my paper towel over to stop that from happening. Another little tip for you: when you're trying to cap and you've got glitter on your paper towel, fold it over so that it doesn't drive you nuts. So yeah, I will just cap that now, and at this point I'm thinking about the shape and the structure of the nail. Of course, we want to make sure that the apex is in the back third and that everything is encapsulated, and that the nail has the correct structure and strength for what you require. These are very long nails. They do need a decent apex, but it does not need to be humongous, so do bear that in mind. If your apex is placed in the correct area, it doesn't need to be huge. So yeah, it's and you guys see my nails, they don't break. It's rare for me to break a nail. Doesn't happen very often. It normally only happens when I do something stupid, like shut my finger in the drawer or something. Yeah, but mostly, yeah, I don't often have a broken nail, which is awesome. I will just carry on capping these nails. When I swipe over with monomer, I'm not soaking my nail in monomer at that point, because I don't want monomer to then drip all into my sidewalls and my cuticle area and get all over my skin. I'm trying not to get it on the skin. You can see where there are little wet patches, that's where monomers touch the skin. That is so bad for your skin. Obviously there are times when it happens and you can't avoid it, but it's something that you actively have to try not to do. What you don't want to do is take a sopping wet brush and then slap it all over the skin, all around the nail. No, big no, don't do that. Please don't do that. You're asking for an allergy at that point, because repetitive monomer on the skin and acrylic products on the skin and gel products as well, the same thing. They're all the same thing. They're all chemicals, so they're constantly being in contact with the skin. That's when your little antibodies can get a bit angry and say, no, I don't like this, what is this, and start attacking, and then you end up with contact dermatitis and an allergy to nail products, which means, you know, it's very difficult to then wear nail products in the future. So just bear that in mind. Try and avoid getting it on the skin as much as possible. Once I have finished capping these nails and they have set up hard enough that they, you know, you can't dent them, I go and wash my hands with soap and water straight away. I take a nail brush and I scrub them. I get that monomer off my skin as soon as possible. At the most convenient time during the set, get that stuff off your skin. That's what I recommend. And it's the industry has so much misinformation going around, and it's very frustrating, but don't slap monomer all over your skin. Please don't do that. There are many books on Amazon by very highly educated people that you can read and learn about the chemical composition of these products that you are using every single day. If you are a nail tech, it's highly important for you to know what these chemicals are made of and what they can do to the skin, and why it is that they are made for nails and not for skin. It's frustrating, but I highly recommend educating yourself. When you learn nails, you learn the basics. They don't teach you everything you need to know on a nail course. They just don't. They don't go in depth into the science of the products and stuff. So it's up to you to seek further education. There are some excellent books on Amazon. Marion Newman, Doug Schoon, There's a few more as well, but it's kind of like some people go overboard with the fear mongering of, you know, nail products, and then you've got some that just totally ignore the dangers. So you need to find your middle in between. Try not to fall into this scaremongering, but be aware of the products you're using and keep yourself and your clients safe. Okay, Karen's TED Talk is over. I'm sorry, I'm proper on one today apparently. Yeah, I'm in lecture mode. I'm if I'm chewing your ears off, I do apologise. I'm having a moment apparently. But anyway, finished capping that nail. That index finger was trash. As you can see, my capping is not going well. For some reason, my acrylic started to really set quick, and I was doing a terrible job of application, clearly. I know when I did this set, because I actually remember how I felt, and I felt rough. I was not, and I know I've said it before in other videos that I've got to stop doing nails when I'm not feeling okay, because I end up making a right old mess, and then I end up having to do way more filing than I would have had I not done it when I was not feeling good. So yeah, I was in a lot of pain, on a lot of meds, and this is what happens. I mean, they came out really pretty in the end, but my application is trash. So please forgive my terrible application skills in this video, because it is trash. It's really bad. Look how lumpy that nail is, and it's just getting fatter and fatter and fatter and fatter, and I'm just adding more and more and more and more acrylic where it's really not needed anymore, but I'm just going to keep on adding. Oh wow, Karen, stop now. I mean, I always do this at the end of the set. I always look at all the nails together to make sure that they are all a similar thickness, so that then I don't end up with different nails. So as I was not feeling well, I filed and shaped and buffed off camera so that you guys don't have to watch that, and I got a little bit file happy. So what I'm doing, it's a really quick cheat way to fix anything. If you file any of your glitter away from the cuticle area, grab a little bit of a gel base coat, apply that where the glitter is missing, and then take a little brush and dab little bits of the glitter mix all over where it was missing. Make sure they're all lying nice and flat, and once you're happy and you've got enough on, stick it in the lamp, cure it in place, and nobody would know. See, like, if I didn't show you this, you'd have never known. You wouldn't have noticed. Trust me, you wouldn't notice. So if you ever over file away your glitter, don't worry about it. Just do this little trick and Bob's your uncle, sorted. Once you've top coated, you can't tell the difference. It's amazing. It's a great little trick. Yeah, definitely a great little trick. And once I've finished with that, I will cure those in place. I wanted to add a couple of more little bits of blue ones, being very pernickety as usual. I'm so fussy, really am. Anyway, flash cure those glitter pieces in place. So now I'm going to use the unicorn. So I'm going to just put some on my palette, as you can see, and I'm going to just use a brush, a little, what's it called, fine liner brush, and I'm going to run this along that teal line. Now it's not going to cover the teal line, you know, it's not like I'm putting trying to make a straight line or anything like that. It's not that kind of coverage. This is just a bit of sparkle, and that's all I wanted, was just an extra bit of shimmer for some reason. Apparently the butterflies and all of that glitter wasn't enough. I needed more sparkles. I didn't actually plan to do this. This was an afterthought. So, yeah. It is what it is. I did this for some reason. I mean, it looked pretty though. It did look pretty. It wasn't necessary by any means, but you guys are used to me doing nails that are way OTTs by now. So, you know what I'm like. I get carried away. And I do like my sparkles. This set has so much crystals. Oh my god, I loved this nail. This nail was packed with crystals to the hilt. It was packed. So, using the Tony Lee jewelry gel, and as you can see, I've not top coated yet. I'm not going to do the top coat because I top coat around my crystals, and it just helps to secure them in place as well. So, Tony Lee gel for the big ones because it's thick and they can, you know, the pointy backs can really sit into it. And then I'll use the SPD London diamond gel for the flat backs. So I'm going to faff around and just put a ton of crystals on these nails. Well, this one especially is going to have loads. I will leave you to watch the crystal placement in peace, and then I will be back for top coating time, because we do like to top it off and keep it tough and do the reveal, because that's the best part. Okay, I'll be back soon.
Make me change. You make me wanna do better. I don't know why. You make me wanna do better. You make me wanna do better. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like I'm better off with escape, begging you to slow down, babe. Get a little smooth with me. Should have been calling me, thousand apologies. I know you're working late, know your heart is skipping beats, begging you to slow down, babe. Get a little smooth with me.
And now it's time to top it off and keep it tough. Yes. So here we go. Oh, look at that. It's so cute. The butterflies are so cute. I love this. I did like this set. They're so me and over the top and busy and crazy and just, yeah. They're me. And those crystals. Oh, look at those crystals. Aren't those crystals amazing? I had to stop myself. I think if I hadn't have stopped myself, I probably would have covered that entire nail with crystals. I was having so much fun just adding more and more and more and more. I said no plan. I just started randomly placing the crystals, and that was how it came out. only problem was I then had to try and do the same thing on the other hand, which was really a pain in the butt, but to try and match it up so that both hands looked the same. Oh, that was a nightmare. I didn't think about that when I was randomly placing all of those crystals, but I got it pretty close. Both hands looked really similar, so that was okay. So I top coated underneath the ones that are clear at the tip, because that helps the clarity. Not that you can really see through it because I packed so much glitter on, but I thought I'd add the top coat underneath. Cure that for 60 seconds, and now I will use the matte top coat on the other fingers. I don't know why I fancied doing matte on those nails, and so I did. Always go around the crystals, not over the top, especially with matte top coat. That will most certainly dull the shine, so will shiny top coat. So just butt the top coat right up to the edge of the crystals, but never go over them. They'll lose their facets if you do, and the facets are what makes them shine and sparkle and gleam and hit the light, you know. So yeah, always around them, never over them. We are at the end of the video pretty much, so there's some video footage and photos at the end for you guys. I'd like to say thank you ever so much for coming to my channel, spending some of your most precious time with me. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you have not already done so, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Join the Frosty fam. They are awesome. We have a good time over here. You are most welcome to join us. If this video has helped you in any way, shape or form, or you've enjoyed it in any way, please click that like button for me. It will really help me out. Thank you very much. And if you feel like it, you are most welcome to leave me a comment. I am happy to talk to you. So that's all I have for this time. That's all I've got for this time, peeps. You take care now, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.
Make it, yeah. All hard work's gonna